What for? I saw you play like 18 games. What the hell? What's gotten into you?
So my kids just started school, and suddenly I got a bit more time in the mornings, and I've been grinding so much. But man, it's such a wild ride, the ladder. I don't understand. One day I think I'm going mano a mano, head to head against 1600s. The other day I'm losing to 1400s. It's such a roller coaster, man. I don't know. Sometimes, and I think this Insta thing, the Insta matchmaking.
Yes.
It's doing me damage, bro. It's doing me damage. I've been losing puntos. I've been losing puntos because of it. I mean, yeah, your level, it doesn't matter, of course. But at my level, if there's a difference of 100 elo, I always lose.
Yeah.
If it's someone above me. And I've been getting a lot of that. So I don't know what Dev's been cooking, but hey, Devs, give me the puntos back, man.
Yeah, no, that's interesting because I think like the matchmaking, I think they took it to another extreme. It's like we want faster queues, but not that fast. Like you don't want to be playing like that.
I agree.
Like we can wait like a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I need to stand up a little bit. Man, I just lost a game. Let me, let me get back into the mindset of the grind. I totally agree, 100%.
Yeah.
All right, hello there, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Majmoura.
And I'm the Viper.
And this is episode 37 of the Town Center, your podcast dedicated to all things Age of Empires. In today's show, King of the Desert is officially back to the scene, and we'll give you all the known details regarding the tournament, which is set to take place in December. Then, the LingYuan Cup is just around the corner, as most players prepare to travel to China to play in the $45,000 LAN tournament. And as always, we'll keep you up to speed with regards to the currently ongoing tournaments, including some pre-announcements of announcements, which is basically what I think Hera Red Bull just did. I mean, we keep adding layers to this, It used to be announcement of announcement, now it's pre-announcement of an announcement.
Yeah, so Red Bull changed their profile picture on Discord to a TBA, which they've done, I think, the last 2 or 3 editions, well in advance of when they announce like the proper one, but it gives the people a teaser, and the people are really excited already. Like, Red Bull's coming back, it's basically confirmed, and we just don't know when or what, but it looks like they're going to come back, and they're going to come back big.
Okay, I legitimately do not know. I have a hard time believing that you don't know. You don't need to
didn't know. Like,
legit?
Like, I heard things, and I've spoken to people, but it was always in speculation, always like, oh yeah, we're planning or we're thinking, but I didn't know if it was confirmed. So this is actually big news for me. Like, I was hyped this morning. I told you, I was like, yo, we got to talk about this. We got to add it in. Like, it's my favorite tournament series, like by far. It's not even close. Like, the experience they've given us have just been fantastic, like playing AoE in a castle and whatnot. So for me, I'm super hyped, and I honestly didn't know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, is it going to be in Argentina? Because hasn't it been the case that it's always in the place of the winner or the last winner? I mean, you probably, yeah.
I don't think so, but again, I don't know 100%, but because
I think it would be pretty crazy.
I think if it was in Argentina, I think I would already be involved to some capacity because
so you're not lying.
No, I'm not lying.
So you're really not lying. Okay, I was trying to pry some information out of you. Just
I didn't come on here to lie. The people need the truth. I'm giving them the truth. No,
I like
think
it.
If it was in Argentina, I would be involved. I'm not involved yet. Please involve me. I want. Am I invited? I don't know if I'm invited.
You have to be. Yeah, you have to be. Probably Viper too. He finished second, didn't he, in the last one? He lost to you. Yeah. So probably Viper could be invited too. Viper gets an invitation again.
Oh,
in any case, if you enjoy our show, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and all those things. And if you prefer to listen to us on Spotify, don't forget to listen to us. Don't forget to rate us 5 stars. Also, just thought about it, Hera. I just saw your buddy Atrioc in the Gavin Newsom podcast. Man, the guy's doing the rounds. You know, Gavin Newsom is like the governor of California. Like a big guy. You're like a big guy. He's maybe going to be the presidential nominee for the next election. I mean, we don't know. We don't know, but he's trying to set himself up for that. But so you guys are making big moves.
Yeah, he's doing well in that space. Like he's made it. Like he's getting bigger. Even like his numbers have been crazy.
Yeah, I've seen his channel. Crazy. All right, Hera, KotD announcement. From December 1st until December 21st, the King of the Desert tournament, which is played only on the map Arabia, will be back for its 6th iteration. This one comes with a $50,000 prize pool, sponsored by Microsoft, and it will feature a 64-player main event. If I understood things correctly here, Hera, there won't be a qualifier per se. I think some people like qualify based on recent tournament performances. Others will qualify through the ATP ranking, and some through the ranked ladder, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
And so last time we had a KotD was 2.5 years ago.
Hmm.
And my feeling was that in those years, in this time in between, Mem sort of had the sense, and used to agree with it actually, that one map tournaments is not really viable anymore in our competitive scene, folks. The hype for that is not there anymore. Do you feel that shifting, or how is it for you anyway? Does an S tier Arabia only tournament still have a place in our competitive scene?
I think when it was a yearly event, you could make an argument that people were a bit burnt out of it because it does have that those limitations that it could be a bit repetitive. However, it's been I think 2 years since the last edition, so I would say that the viewers and the players are hungry for something like KOTD at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And KOTD is such a staple in terms of like what every player plays on a daily basis is 1v1 Arabia. So if you bring a tournament of 1v1 Arabia, that basically determines who the best player is on the most played game mode. It's almost like this is the raw best skillful player at the moment. That's what people are competing for. And I will have to say, this KOTD is different than all other KOTDs because right now we have such an active ladder.
Mm.
Contrary to popular belief, because it could be dead at times, but right now the ladder is so competitive. There's so many new players like Lucho. We got Lewis. Look at the top five right now. You don't see the classic names. You don't see the Tato, the Viper, Doubt. We never really saw Doubt though. But we're seeing like completely different names in the top five
Hmm.
and top 10. So I think this KOTD will be very, very special and will be spicy and will be very exciting, if you ask me.
That's so true. What is it? Now that you mention it, what's the top five? Is it going to be you, Lewis, Lucho, Nico, MBL for sure?
I can just take another look right now. Actually, why not? So it's right now.
Okay,
It's
I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess.
yeah.
You tell me how far off I am. So I'm going to say it's you, it's MBL, it's Lewis, it's Lucho, and Nikov maybe. I don't know.
Okay, it's not bad. It was that, but Lewis and Lucho have just dropped a bit. But it's me, Vich, MBL, Nikov, Hart. So still
Vinch.
what you'd expect. Still like the famous names, the well-known names, I should say. But then
Mhm.
top 10, you have Lewis, Sebastian. You got Sato in there. Then you got Barles at number 11, Lucho at number 12, Mihai at number 14. So you have Sorakuma at number 16. So you have these players now that are competing in 1v1 Arabia with the likes of me, Viper, MPL, like the known names of the people that usually just play 1v1 Arabia, Mr. Yo, etc.
Mhm.
So I think it's very, very competitive going into this KOTD. And there's one thing I want to talk about as well. It's single
Mhm.
elimination, top
Right, I
64.
love it. I know you don't like it, right? You prefer double elimination. I love the single elimination, man.
And so for me personally, what's better for me is group stage. Like Swiss stage is better for me personally. I get to
Whoa, whoa,
see
whoa,
what my
whoa! Wait a
opponents are
second.
doing.
Wait a second. I've heard you
Yes.
say 1,000 times that double elimination is the.
No, for
So
sure. I'm saying
did you
what's
change
best.
your
No,
opinion?
no, what's best for me, not personal opinion.
Okay, for your
As a
personal,
player,
yeah.
yeah.
Understood.
If I
Understood.
want to get
Understood.
the highest result, I want a group stage where I get to scout my opponents, and if I lose one match, it's fine. Because I'd be going in as a favorite. But going in as a favorite when it's single elimination, it basically doesn't matter. I can lose round of 32. It's like we're going to
Mhm.
be facing killers round after round. One slip up in a best of five Arabia, and you're cooked. So it's actually very exciting the fact that it's single elimination. It's not good for me, but I will say I like it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Not
Mhm.
good for me as a player, but for me as a person, as a fan, I think it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, and for those of us who've been around for a long, long time, I think we tend to have the same opinion. Just because we have such a special place in our heart for Arabia, because it's the only thing we used to play back
Yeah.
on Woobly. But I do wonder because people say it's going to be boring, it's always the same map. But would you agree? I feel like this is true. A lot of the balance in Age of Empires 2 is made for Arabia 1v1. So would you say that Arabia is still the map with, the highest amount of viable civs and viable civ matchups? Is that still the case? Would you say today?
Yeah, I would say for sure. When you think about a map like Arena, maps like Arena, you can basically determine who wins based on the Civ. And I feel like
Mhm.
that's never really true for Arabia. Even if you have a bad Civ matchup in Arabia, there's always something you can do. Even if it's a small chance, you still have something you can go for. And I think that's what makes it really interesting. There's a lot of different Civ variety, especially in today's balance. It's gotten a lot better. So you got a lot of Civ variety. Maybe there's gonna be random bans. So it's gonna be like Civs we don't usually see involved in every round, which I think is very exciting and very interesting from a viewer perspective. And on top of that, I think that you can go for a variety of different strategies. Like we have the Phosphoru FC that we could see. We
Mm.
have certain like militia rushes. We have men at arms that are back in the picture. We've got so many different things that we might see. And then on top of all that, you got like the standard scouts archer play and a lot of micro. The cav archers are still meta and whatnot. So I think we're going to see a decent variety despite it being one map.
How viable is a Phosphoru rush in an S tier Arabia tournament?
In a single elimination, I think it gets as viable as it can be. Like,
Really?
I think so. If no one knows you're gonna do it, like,
you
how
see
would anyone know?
2K5's losing to it.
Like, my opinion on Phosphoru is that it's like the okay. First of all, I think 2300 on ladder is elo hell. By the way, we got to talk about this. Like, poor T90. I see this guy playing like 10 games, and half of his games are not real. He's just getting Phosphoru rushed. He's getting cheesed. Like, look at his match history. I feel so bad. 2300 to 2400 is elo hell because the FC rushes are really good, but then defending it is a lot harder than doing it. And I feel like the pro players are a little better at like adapting to countering it. But that being said, it can still work against like the top pros, but it really works against 2400s and even 2500s. Like, those are the guys that are consistently dying to this.
Can you give me 3 bullet points on how to counter it? Okay, I'm going to tell you how I've been trying to counter it. Sometimes I'm 1600. Well, now I'm down to 1500. But don't laugh at me, bro. Don't do me like that.
I love it.
Yeah. So what I do when I recognize he's going to do it, I full wall, go up myself, and I just make siege. I just make mangonels and try to counter it.
Okay.
And a lot of times it works. The last time I faced it was against Bohemians. The guy goes for a redemption right away, and I'm completely lost. What the fuck do I was Mongol, so what do I do against fucking redemption? So I just immediately lost. So how far off am I from the ideal counter?
I think you're going for like the hardest counter, because that means that you're letting him rush, and you're going to say like, I'm going to defend this. The guy's done it 1,000 times. You've defended like 3 times, and you've lost all 3.
So true. Well, let's put it to 1.5. Something like that.
You've lost 2, 1-1. Almost 1 a second. But the idea is, I think you should not let him do the rush. I think you want to take him out of his comfort zone. So what I would recommend is you up fast, recognize he's going to do it due to his slow uptime. And then I would actually recommend you send 2 vills forward. If you open scouts, you make a range forward. You go scouts and archers, and you target his stone. You force him to make towers, and you force him to make the castle at home. And then you force him to defend first with his unique unit before attacking you. And then back home, instead of doing a standard economy, do a few farms, everything to gold, mark it up yourself, and then all in to defend. So you throw him off, you buy some time, and then you all in to defend, and whoever wins at that point.
See, that sounds to me a lot harder, because then I need to, be playing in 2 places. I need to be doing my eco at home, and I need to be attacking in the front. Whereas if I'm defending at home with my mangonels, it's everything in the same place.
Harder for him,
too. It's easier for him to. True.
Yeah.
True.
You got to think about that. It's like...
Yeah, I forget about that all the time, man. When the guy... Yeah, okay, a lot to learn, as you can tell. A lot to learn. There's not going to be any chicken in this map, in the KotD Arabia.
Okay.
Any special... How do you feel about chicken? Let's start with that.
I honestly don't know. I've seen an overwhelmingly negative opinion of chickens from the players. I will say that. I don't even know where I stand, personally. So I can't even give my personal opinion. For me, it's kind of whatever. If there's chickens, there's chickens. If there's deer, there's deer. I don't mind. What I'm not liking, though, is like there's chickens and then there's neutral deer that you can go scout. I think that's horrible for high-level play, because then there's just too much food on the map in an unnatural way. So whether it's chickens or deer, it's fine for me. But I have seen an overwhelmingly negative opinion on chickens from other pros, and they basically say it either doesn't change anything, puts less food on the map, so the weaker civs are even weaker, and it's just not something that they enjoy to play. My opinion is it doesn't matter, but probably keeping it as deer is the right choice, because we've had 5 editions of KotD with deer. All were fantastic. But what's the point of innovating, kind of? That's a safe way to look at it.
25-year-old game, not too much innovation. I think that's the reason Bambi's going for it, too. He's also going to make it a 3-villager start, which, it's a sort of become a rarity. Yeah, it's become a little bit of a rarity these days in the S tier Pro Age of Empires 2. And I think that's the thing. He wants to keep tradition. Age of Empires is played on 3 villagers, so let's keep it that way.
I will say, on that note, I do like those 3 villagers, because I think it's very important for the fans and the viewers watching to be able to play the same thing we're playing.
The same thing.
I said that before, but I think that's a must.
I agree 100%. I don't know if you remember. Do you follow CS:GO or CS2 from time to time?
I've watched a little bit.
Yeah. So there used to be this rule where coaches, teams have coaches, and the coaches used to be able to speak during rounds and tell players what to do. Hey, go defend this. I don't know. I don't play too much CS:GO, but at some point Valve removed that rule. So now that coaches can only speak in between rounds, and if they take a timeout, I believe, exactly because of that, because they want the game to be what the fans are are experiencing their, everyday play. In your everyday, when you're playing matchmaking CSGO, you don't have a coach.
Yeah.
You have the other players, but don't have a coach. And that was their justification. And I like it.
Yeah.
So play the game as the people watching you or watching the tournament are playing it too.
Yes,
I like that a lot. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, so you just mentioned the draft before, and I kind of thought to myself, if it's true and you agree that Arabia has, the highest amount of viability in terms of civs, what would you make of just having, instead of a draft, okay, I personally, I hate drafts. I think we, the plebs, we don't understand drafting. We don't understand it. You pros understand it, but nobody can commentate on the drafting, so we don't understand it. What about we just have, you can now pick a custom list of civilizations. How about we decide what are, 15, 20 civs, S-tier civs, viable civs, and everybody randoms from that list?
That's actually really cool. Wow.
Good.
That's a fantastic idea. Wow, that's a really good idea. Actually, it only works specifically for this tournament, because for other tournaments you need a specific civ for a specific map. That's obvious, but this time it's only one map. So I can definitely see you just pick 15 civs, as you said. Every player can pick any 15 civs,
and it could change from round to round. Maybe it could change from round to round even.
Yeah, possibly. Or it's if you played a civ, you just take it out of your group, and then you have the 14 civs remaining, and you just play from there. I think that's also interesting. So that's a great idea.
What I thought about is you could cheat, maybe, right? How do you know if players are actually putting the civs that they said? But then if they random a civ that it's not there, you know that they cheated. But on the other hand, they can only put 3 civs instead of 20. I don't know. Could you cheat that?
You could cheat, but there's an easy way to fix the cheating. You just put both players in an admin room, and you the admin can see both screens.
Share your screen. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Easy.
Or you make it that you have to record the whole thing and send it to an admin. There's a lot of ways where we can stop the cheating, and it's actually a very easy thing to stop.
Now I'm having a flashback that people criticized me for saying players were going to cheat during the Red Bull ladder. So I don't want to. I don't want to be in that place where people think that everybody is cheating, where everybody thinks that I think everybody's cheating. No, I don't think people are cheating, but you need to think about these things.
I will defend you on that. I am a huge anti-cheat person. I don't think we should rely on the good faith of players. We're lucky, by the way, in AV2. We have such amazing players and people that there's a minimal cheating. But you don't want to be putting a player in a position where he can cheat, and it's good if he cheats. He gets a lot of money, but we just hope he doesn't cheat. That's just it's bad to put him in that position, and it's bad to put everyone else around him in that position, because then it's then you might be thinking, oh, what if he cheats? I need the money as well. You just don't want to be giving players that option. So just taking it out, anti-cheat, and then everyone's a good guy. No issues.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Okay, so yeah, I'm very excited for the tournament. I used to be in the camp that I thought, one map tournaments are not viable anymore these days. But things changed for me when I saw the Shanghai Xia Cup. You remember the one?
Yeah.
It was such a fun tournament. Also single elimination. Also just 2 weeks or whatever. And this tournament's going to be pretty short too. I think 2.5 weeks. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. Now, Hera, of course, King of the Desert is happening because another tournament is not going to happen. And we went a little bit back and forth here. How much can we share about what this tournament was supposed to be? I've got info from management today. So, of course, it was supposed to be a GamerLegion tournament. It was supposed to be the NAC number 2. And there's not too much that I can say about why things are not going to happen. What I can say was that the timelines were just a bit too short. Everything was a little bit too short. Then there's the CSGO Major, or the CS2 Major, which is happening at the same time. And GamerLegion is going to be present in it. And, then you have a lot of staff working on that. And then you have the same time Milan in Berlin. And I'm speaking on behalf of GamerLegion. We offered alternatives to something else. Again, I can't go too heavy into specifics, but that was rejected. And once that's rejected, Hera, I think the only 2 organizers that are left are basically T90 or Memb. And with T90 having his TTL in January, I think it's totally logical to just give it to Memb. It's a known quantity. His tournaments always deliver. So that's what happened.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good decision to give it to Memb and to give it to KotD. It is a shame that we couldn't have the GamerLegion LAN event. I think that's has been a staple every year, and it's been a fantastic tournament. Obviously, they carried the torch from Nilly, who started off the series and did a fantastic job there. But I will say it's commendable to like for GamerLegion to just give up the spot instead of doing something half-assed. I think that's like as fans and as players, I really appreciate that. I think I'd rather see them just give the spot up, knowing that hey, listen, it's just not the right time and let the fans enjoy something else instead of just trying to force it and make something work when there's really nothing there. So I appreciate that from them. And while it's unfortunate we won't have a LAN event in Germany, there's always a future, and I'm sure GamerLegion will come back with something.
The one thing I thought about first was, well, wasn't why not give it to somebody else? Because Mem is already going to have a tournament, but I guess the timeline is just too short, right? And it's too much money. It has to be an S tier event organizer, and it has to be someone that Microsoft has experience working with. And I think from that perspective, once I thought about it, I was like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Because, in my head, well, just give the money to a new organizer, give it to, I don't know, Ornlu, let him host a 50,000, you know what I'm saying? But I guess, yeah, from this perspective, S-tier tournament needs S-tier reach in our scene. And from that perspective, I think it makes sense.
I much prefer, although I like supporting the new ideas and whatnot, I think that's good. I think it's way too risky to give that much to a new idea. So I think them going for something solid, something that they know works, is probably just safer for everyone. I think that's best.
Understood. Then, of course, there was wild speculation. Is GamerLegion disbanding? Is everything falling off the floor? So no, that's not going to happen. The team is here. The team isn't going anywhere. The podcast isn't going anywhere, as you can see. This is not a farewell podcast. I saw that. There was going to be an episode soon, but it's going to be a farewell episode. It's not a farewell episode. And this was kicked off mostly because we canceled subscriptions on Spotify. But we only did that because there hadn't been an episode in such a long time and people were paying for no content whatsoever, and we just thought, okay, let's just cancel the subscription so that people are not paying for nothing. So yeah, we're here. We're not going anywhere. Not yet, at least.
Let me teach you something. People paying for nothing. That's every single subscriber of mine on Twitch. I'm making a business out of people paying for nothing. I don't think you should have canceled it, honestly. People are supporting the podcast.
Well, first of all, that's so interesting that you say that. Well, first of all, it's not me. I don't decide these things, of course. But it's so interesting that you say that, because as soon as we canceled, we, as in GamerLegion, somebody wrote to me on Twitch, hey, Majmor, they just stopped taking my money. What happened? Are you guys finished? It was, no, bro, it's just not, we haven't been releasing it. Dude, I pay to support. I don't care if he told me exactly what you're telling me.
Yeah.
I pay because I want to support you guys. So if the program is not done, just keep it going. I don't care. I don't know. I never thought about it, but
I firmly believe that we have a responsibility as creators. We definitely do not want to be in the business of scamming people's money, 100%. But what I would say is that if there's some downtime, I would say that the best thing to do is to actually make it up to them and release 2 episodes or release an extra special episode.
That's
do
so
a giveaway. Make it up to them because they want to support. People, I get these messages all the time. They want to support, but they have to support for good value. So I think as creators, the best thing to do is actually bring the value to them because that's what really keeps our scene alive. The scene is alive because we have creators there that the fans support. You need both. If you have one and not the other, you can't go. Your scene is going to die. So I think giving them more value is better than just cutting down, because cutting down that gives the sense that things are falling apart. So I can understand the fans' reaction there, in my opinion.
That's content creator lessons here for free. I love it. I just checked randomly your Patreon the other day. Dude, you have 7,000 or something Patreons?
Yes.
Or 6,000. Dude, that's unbelievable. That's so much. Spirit of the Law has 250 or something.
Yeah, he doesn't talk about it as much, I will say. I talk about it a lot. I'm talking about it here. This is great.
And I guess you offer a lot. You have those build orders. Spirit. I think he only. I say only. I mean, everybody runs their businesses they want. Of course, I'm not criticizing. I think the thing that they get is the video 24 hours earlier. Whatever video he's going to release next.
Yeah.
People get it one day earlier or something, and they have a bunch of build orders and stuff like that, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
So my Patreon has exclusive videos that other people don't get. So it's I personally think they're high quality in the sense that I don't hold anything back. I just give out all the information. The same information I'm using for tournaments, I'm giving it out there. And in theory, Viper for $10 can get a nice advantage, but I don't know.
He's not interested, or maybe he's there. You just don't know.
Maybe under Smurf, it could be.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, a lot of those members are free, though. To be fair, it's like a lot of those members. I have a free option where you can just like get updates and whatnot. So a lot of people are just free.
Okay.
If they see something they like, they pay and whatnot. So it's a lot less than 7,000 paid members. It's actually a lot less. But no, it's still good. I think there's a lot of people supporting me there, and I'm really enjoying the Patreon. I think I have a passion for teaching. So for me, it's like it's a dream to be able to teach Age of Empires.
But for those folks, it's probably a first step, though. If they were already there and then they see, oh, it's only $5, so let me try it. Or however much it is.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. It feels like we've been talking about this tournament, the LingYuan Cup. That's what we're going to focus on now. Feels like I've been talking about it forever here because when were the fucking qualifiers? Like 3 months ago or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for a long time, but now it's finally here. The LingYuan Cup will be happening from October 22nd through 26th in Beijing, and it's only 5 days. It's a 5-day LAN, no more, no less. GamerLegion will be represented by 2 players, Hera and Viper, and they'll be joined by Leary, Yo, Hart, Nikov, ACCM, Sebastian, Freaking Andy, and Vivi. I hope I didn't forget anybody. If you're in Europe or the Americas and you want to follow it live, things will be a bit tough for you because the stream starts every day at 5 GMT. We will maybe cover the tournament live on our Twitch channel with maybe me taking like the first shift and then Timon taking over in the afternoon, but we're not quite sure yet. We'll let you know in our socials. So what are the hype levels for you like, Hera? You looking forward for the tournament? Not so much?
No, I'm looking forward to it for sure. Like I think that the idea of going to China, for me, I've been seeing a lot of videos on socials circulating, and China looks absolutely beautiful. Like it looks absolutely stunning. And so I've been wanting to visit China. It's very foreign to me. I have no idea what to expect. I've only heard hearsay. I heard Mr. Yo talk it up, and Mr. Yo told me of some nice areas to tour around afterwards. So I'm planning to go there and then spend a few days extra. And I'm personally really excited about like the LAN event and the location. I think that's going to be super cool in Beijing. What I don't know about is how the LAN's going to be. Like, is it going to be good or not? I have literally no idea. It could be the best LAN event ever. It could be the worst. And I have no idea. All I know is that the location is going to be nice. It's going to be a new experience. So I'm there for it.
Do you usually enjoy, like, it's going to be a very long flight for you, I'm going to imagine.
Yes. Yeah, a lot. But I'm flying from Canada, so it's a little bit less.
Yeah. True. Okay. So do you usually enjoy that kind of thing or not so much? Do you like planes?
I love traveling, but I hate the planes. The planes scare me a bit. But I for some reason, I love the idea of like going from one place to the next. I don't know why. It's like you just get a lot of time moving around, and I like that. But I don't like the plane. If I can like take a bus everywhere, I'd go anywhere, or a train. I'd go anywhere.
The thing for me, those very big planes, I think, are a lot less scarier for me because they just don't shake as much. Turbulence is not. At least that has been my experience. When you fly these like 3-hour flights with these like half-assed planes, or it feels like whenever it shakes a lot more, and it's a lot scarier for me. But
that's true. I heard the shaking doesn't matter though. People were telling me
not at all.
Turbulence does not matter. So
not at all.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah, accidents. It's like I don't know what the percentage happen on departure and landing. The vast majority of accidents, and not so reassuring. The vast majority is also the fault of the pilot. But not so reassuring. But on the other hand, we're getting more and more automation brought in. So, okay, yeah. I do wonder a little bit about this because there's been, you just mentioned or sort of implied it, there's been very little promotion for this tournament. Well, I just said, you don't even know. I had to ask a lot of people just to know when the stream is going to start.
Yes.
There's just very little information. It seems pretty clear to me that this is a tournament for the Asian
Chinese
audience, for the Chinese community, and that's fine if that's what they want to get. Do you feel like they maybe should have tried to reach out a little bit more, maybe make a bit more promotion on this side of the ocean, or not necessarily?
So, in my opinion, they're taking Microsoft money for this, right? Am I correct in that for the prize pool?
Yes.
Okay. So if they're taking Microsoft money...
let me be 100% sure, but it's in the calendar, so it's got to be.
Yeah.
Right? Nearly put in the calendar... Sponsor World's Edge, yeah.
Okay, so if Microsoft or World's Edge is sponsoring the tournament, I think they have some kind of responsibility for the Western audience as well. I'm all for them making it for the Chinese community. First of all, the Chinese community has done so much for the AV2 scene. It's amazing that they get a LAN event. Like that goes without saying. I'm actually really happy for them. I have a channel on Bilibili, and there's now
You do?
11,000. Yes, which is basically the Chinese YouTube for those who don't know.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I have
yeah, yeah.
11,000 like fans or viewers or subscribers. They call it 11,000,
Dude,
which is crazy.
How many platforms are you on, bro?
Uh,
You're on TikTok.
I'm on Chinese TikTok as well. I'm kind of everywhere, to be honest. But
Wait, I forgot that when we interviewed Yo, I asked him, what's the name of the Chinese TikTok?
Douyin.
Douyin, yeah. So how many platforms are you on, bro?
I think 3 in China, on Red Note as well, and then like all the Western ones. So we're on like everything except Spotify. You guys are on Spotify though. 5 stars, eh?
Yeah, there you go.
But so there's a good amount of fans in China, is what I want to say. So there's like a big potential for AV2. So they definitely like deserve to have a LAN there. It's gonna be great. But I do think if you're taking the Microsoft money, I think a little bit more effort is what I want to see in advertisements and in promotion for the Western audience as well, because the Western audience is like the backbone of the AV2 scene for most tournaments. It's just a fact, right? So my opinion is they should have done a bit more for that. But it's not to say that it's done. You know, we're advertising it right now. I'm planning to put a video out on my channel because I will be covering it on my Twitch channel. I'm gonna pay Lewis of all people to cast it on my channel.
Wow!
Yes.
Wait! This is big information here. This is a big announcement. Lewis is gonna start his casting career. All right.
Yes, his playing one has not been going well. I said, "Listen, bro, just take the job." I asked Dad as well, but he's not ready for that conversation. So we're gonna get
refused. Wow.
Yeah, but for other reasons, I'm totally joking.
All right.
But yeah, Lewis is gonna cast on my channel, so I'm planning to put out like a video and announce that he's gonna be taking over there, and people can watch it there. But like, there really hasn't been much from like official advertisement. But I think that's where we as a community and creators can step up and advertise for it, because at the end of the day, we're all on the same team. We all want it to succeed, and it's better for AV2 to have more eyes on the tournaments.
And I think from their perspective, they mostly care about their audience over there, of course, and that's totally understandable. And also, you said because they're getting Microsoft money, and that's true. But I gotta imagine, bro, a land like this in China, the money they're getting from Microsoft is like such a tiny percentage of the total budget of something like that, right?
That's a fair point.
Yeah, they're getting, because when we have a land here, we're getting like 2 players, 3 players from China. Now they're getting mostly players from outside of China to go there, right? So it's gonna cost them a lot of money, I'm gonna assume. But
also, like 3 South Americans qualified. This shit was horrible for them. Like the South American flights are way more expensive than European flights. And like we had, I think, Nikov, Sebastian, and Hart qualify, which is incredible in terms of like bad plane tickets. So yeah, they kind of got screwed, unfortunately, in the qualifiers.
That's fair. Okay, so one thing I've noticed, and kind of feel like it's a bit more extreme in this tournament, is that I see no one preparing, at least publicly. And I guess a lot of the preparation always happens, but you're streaming all the day. I assume you're doing some sort of preparation behind the scenes. So are you? Well, let's start with that.
Yeah, I've been practicing every night for the past 3 nights. Haven't been doing as much as I usually do because I'm visiting family in Canada at the moment. So the schedule's been a bit tight. And also, I really don't like to give up the streams because the streams have been so fun for me.
Okay.
But no, I've been doing a little bit of preparation. Maybe I'll ramp it up in the last few days, but we'll see.
Okay, so you're getting complacent a little bit? You're like, well, I'm having won like 14 STO tournaments.
No,
what's
actually,
the 15th going to be like?
Actually, I really like to give it my all, because my take is like, I don't care if I lose, but it has to be my best. If I play poorly, I get so mad at myself. So, yeah, I'll ramp it up, I'm sure. As for the others, I'm pretty sure people have already started practicing behind closed doors, but it's the kind of thing where like a lot of people qualified and they already know everything about the maps. Like there's only 2 new maps, so the people that qualified know most of what's going on.
Ah, that's fair. Okay, what about for those? Well, you didn't play the qualifiers, so you feel like you have a lot of work to make up for the fact that you didn't play?
Yeah, naturally I do, for sure. And I've been playing against some guys that did qualify, so they know a little bit more. Like I've been noticing that there's just small things that they're doing that I'm not doing, and it's just like I got to catch up, which is fair enough.
Do you have a map that you particularly like and particularly not like?
I think there's like the map pool is just not that good for me personally. But I've been feeling that about every tournament. I can't remember the last time I saw a map pool. I was like, yo, this is fantastic.
It's too wacky. Aren't the maps just too wacky?
Half the maps are just, there's like no actual gameplay. You're just like, the strats are so obvious. Like in my opinion, like the strats are so obvious what's the best strat. So everyone just always goes to the best strats basically. So there's no like innovation. I feel there's a couple maps that you can innovate, but those maps are a bit annoying to play as well. So I don't want to be the guy who complains a lot. It's okay. It's not the worst, but I can't say I'm excited for the map pool personally.
I agree when I'm watching a tournament. I like new maps and all of that, but it's just too wacky in my opinion. I wouldn't mind just going back to the, a good standard, a good migration, a good, I don't know. I'd go with the classics and try to variate within that. That would be me. Another thing I'd be curious about, if you're willing to share this, of course, what does preparation for an S tier tournament look like actually to you? Do you like open the editor and you generate like 20 maps, 20 versions of each map? Do you play with other pros? You play with other pros, of course. Do you talk to them? You discuss strats? What is it like for you?
Yeah, so I don't do the editor thing because basically I just need to look at the map once to know like what the general spawn is, and then you can just jump in to play it. So what the practice looks like on a general basis is you either on voice with a few guys, like talking about like some strats and whatnot, or you're just playing you versus another opponent and you just run a draft. You play all 5 games no matter what happens. So sometimes you go 5-0, sometimes you go 0-5 in practice. There was one day I had Doubt and Viper back to back, and I think I went 9-1 in a day in practice. That was for like a tournament in the past though. So sometimes you have really good days, and sometimes you have really bad days. It's completely normal. So yeah, that's pretty much what practice looks like. So you either like talk with a bunch of people on voice, or you play against the guy. And usually when you play a set, you exchange a few things afterwards. Hey, that worked. That's interesting. That's not. But I will say, usually it's best not to give too much information to your opponents, because at the end of the day, you're still facing them. So
yeah. It's just a reality, right? But I guess that's a problem with every game, right? How much? I mean, the best training is going to be against fellow pros, of course, but then you're going to be facing the fellow pros.
Yes.
What do you do there? It's really tough. I totally get it.
There's an interesting dynamic. So, like, I practiced with Leary for a lot of tournaments, and in the finals, if we face, we both know what each other's going to go for. So, I personally take advantage of that by just doing something else, something different, even if it's bad.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Do that. It's very good, and then you do the opposite of that, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm not actively fooling him because we don't practice before the finals, but we practice through everything else. So we know all the theory of what each person likes to do, but I just try to mix it up. Just because I think Leary's a better player than me, so I don't like to do raw skill for skill.
You think in terms of what do you mean he's a better player, bro? You've beaten him I don't know how many times in the last finals.
But if you look at how I beat him, it's never like I'm just like going out and just destroying him with archers or skirms. And I'm not like out micring him. I'm like out moving him or doing something different, something unique, or something like outside the box. That's how I win at least some of the games. Sometimes I have the better civ and whatnot. So I think skill for skill, we're at least 50% each skill for skill, and I don't think that's a good enough win ratio to guarantee the win. So I try to do something else as much as I can, at least. Skill for skill, I don't feel like I have any advantage over him at the very least. Okay. That's maybe a better way to put it.
I mean, stats are stats. You've won, I don't know how many of the finals. I mean, Leary has lost, how many finals did he lose to you?
I don't lost even know. A lot of finals. But if you think about it, like if you lose a final by one game, and that's one game where I went for like a standard meta approach, and he beat me, he would win the finals, right? So like a lot of the games, if you're watching, I'm just doing something different or something like special or something just not that I've been doing, which I think is hard to notice from a viewer perspective.
You're trying to be humble. I understand, and that's
I'm not.
Cool. I mean, at some point the numbers are the numbers. You keep beating him. It's close, sure. Yeah. It's close sometimes, but you keep beating him. So you have something that he doesn't have, in my opinion.
But my point is, you have to look at how I'm beating him. Like I'm not moving out and just like winning fights against him, because that's just. In my opinion, if we're both just fighting in the center and booming behind, it's at the very least even. But I think in some cases, like if it's Archer Micro, he's even a little bit better there.
Interesting.
So that's if you look at how I'm winning, it's often with just me taking advantage that I just play the game more. I just know more things about more civs, and I feel like that's my advantage against him personally.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Leary is such an interesting case, isn't it? I mean, there was to be this meme around that he never practiced. He just shows up for the tournaments and he beats everybody. I think we know now that's not true. I mean, you've said countless times that's not true. He does practice. But what do you make of it? He still, I imagine, practices less than most other people, and yet still places so high. Is it just a case of, unbelievable natural talent for the game, which I guess is always going to be a factor? But it's just knowing how to practice. What does he do there? Why do things keep working so well for him?
Yeah, so in my opinion, and I don't want to speak too much on his behalf, 100%, because I don't know. Like, I'm just speaking from my perspective. I'm not like
Mhm.
passing on what his opinion is of
Yeah,
himself. But
yeah,
from my
sure.
from my perspective, I think number one, he's talented and he's smart, which is really important because that means he learns fast. Okay,
Mm.
and he learns efficiently, so he doesn't need to make the same mistake 3 times to know it's a bad play, for example. So with those things in mind, I think that what he does is actually really good for him. He works a full-time job throughout the year instead of streaming, instead of doing content creation. And then for tournaments, he practices the same as other players. But what he has to do is just to do a couple sessions where he just de-rusts. He just has to learn how to play the game again at the highest level. Which takes a couple sessions, and then right after that, he's back to full strength, and he starts practicing the maps, finding out the meta, finding what works for him, and then goes for it. The downsides of this is that he's not going to be as good with the bottom civs. All right. So the
Mm.
more random bans you have, in theory, the weaker Leary becomes. Not because he's a
That's
bad
such an
player.
interesting
He just
point.
doesn't play
Okay.
ranked so much. So like MBL even would know a lot more about like the weaker civs than Leary,
That's so interesting.
right?
Okay. So the longer
So
the series gets, the worse it is for him. Okay.
yeah. So that's I think his weakness is just like little things he misses. Not that he just doesn't know like the tech trees for differences. Obviously, he's a pro player, but like
Mm.
little things in certain matchups he just won't know or he won't think of and won't come naturally to him. And that's kind of like his weakness. But as far as like meta gameplay and as far as like the top strats, the top civs, and even like not just like meta gameplay as it's one strat, like meta on like variety of maps, he's top
Mhm.
tier at and he's really good at, and he gets back to full strength. So he's a very efficient practicer and he makes use of his time correctly, and he just works another job instead of doing content creation. I think it's a good setup, to be honest with you.
Mhm, mhm. From the players that you wouldn't necessarily expect to win this tournament, the LingYuan Cup, is there someone you think has the potential to do particularly well in this tournament? I'm thinking now of maybe Sebastian, maybe Andy, maybe Hart.
Um, I think Mr. Yo has some like home court advantage to some extent, actually. So first of all, he's not flying, which is
Mhm,
actually pretty big. So no jet lag, and he is playing in front of his audience, which could be a bad thing, could be a good thing. It depends on how he takes it. It could get extra nervous, or it could be like added motivation.
mhm,
But I think like Mr. Yo loves this country, and I think that would give him like I think that would give him a sense of like pride to compete in front of them, and I think that's going to be a good thing for him. So I would say that Yo is probably going to be extra dangerous this time around if I had to guess.
mhm.
And out of the other players, honestly, I'm not really sure. Like I've been hyping up Sebastian a lot. I think he's a very good player. I think his time is coming, but it just hasn't been there yet. So we'll see. I think like in any tournament, Sebastian can easily shoot up to semifinals and maybe even finals and maybe even win it, and I wouldn't be that surprised. So
Right.
his time's coming. Maybe it's now, maybe it's not. We'll see.
Mhm. Interesting. Okay, so then I'd like to move on to the ongoing tournament, which is Masters of Hyperrandom 3. And this is a tournament hosted by Dave, Zetnus, and Straggler Tree, $10,000 prize pool. We're still in the early stage of the main event. There are 16 players, and the whole thing will run until October 19th. You've decided not to participate, Hera, and I heard you talk a little bit about it on stream, but maybe you can share with our viewers why, and maybe just in general, how do you decide, am I going to participate in this tournament? Am I not going to participate in that tournament? How do you weigh things for yourself?
Yeah, so in this case, Dave reached out, actually invited me, and I said, listen, I had to apologize. I actually really like Dave's casting, and in general, I think he hosts a very fun tournament. So I was like disappointed to not be able to play, but currently I'm visiting family in Canada, and I get to see them like a month out of the year. So like I really just can't be playing on someone else's schedule. Like I stream when I stream, and I make videos when I make videos, but I can't like make a tournament set because Fire can only play at like my midday when I'm visiting family. Just to give an example, Fire gets a lot
No,
of
no, no,
flack
no.
for
I don't think
scheduling.
it's just. I don't think it's just an example there, Hera.
Yeah.
Fire is well known for being a bit of a pain to schedule with.
The funniest thing is I've actually never scheduled with Fire. I'm just going on hearsay
Oh,
here.
okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
I dodged it for some reason.
You're just believing the rumors. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
100% bought into them. So that's the idea. Personally, I just can't commit to it right now. And I
Mhm,
also feel a lot of freedom when I just don't have to play on a schedule. So me personally, I just started signing up for less tournaments. Like I just don't play the smaller tournaments anymore. Not because I don't enjoy them, not because the maps are like not like for me or whatnot. Like I used to really enjoy tournaments. I feel like tournaments which have become so frequent. It's like tournament starts, next tournament, next tournament, next tournament. It's like I just as a player need a break. And the funny thing is that this year we haven't had many S tier tournaments. We've had a lot of
mhm,
like smaller events.
mhm.
Um, but I've been feeling happier and a lot like less stressed due to playing less events, and that makes me feel good. So I'm going to continue doing it. Is my take.
That's interesting. I imagined because the last tournament you participated, A-tier tournament participated, was I believe the Medieval Masters, and you lost in the final. Was it the Medieval Masters? Am I thinking wrong?
Oh yeah, versus Yo,
And
yeah,
you lost in the final, and I was
yeah.
like, bro, next time Hera plays an A-tier tournament, the competition needs to watch out because he's not going to lose an A-tier tournament. He's going to destroy everybody. And you kind of went the other route. You're like, my time is too precious right now. Which, dude, I totally understand. And I actually thought that a lot more people would be like that. But what if you like the other pros of your caliber do? They just don't take it seriously. That's what I feel like. All the other pros that play at your level, they're like, okay, I'm going to play the A-tier. But I'm gonna do meme content or whatever. That's what I feel. Maybe it's not.
Well, the prize was a decent. Totally, like I think a lot of pros actually just play. It's like the first place is 3,000. That was TTL last year. Like straight up, that's a really good price. But 3,000 for a month's work, it's fantastic, right? So like if I had the time for it, I would probably just play it. It's a good price pool. And like you said, worst case we're allowed to stream it. We just play it. Oh, there's another thing actually. There's the 2-minute stream delay. Every tournament that has that, I'm like 50% out. If it's not an S tier and it's 2 minutes delay, I'm like 50% out. Like it's a pet peeve in me.
What's the general rule for isn't it always a stream delay? But you mean only for S tiers? So you understand it, but not.
Yeah, in S tiers there's a Microsoft rule. In A tiers it's a host rule. So the host can decide, and it's like, by the way, it's completely understandable to have delay because like it's tournament integrity. If you play with no stream delay, that means you're playing with no delay in game. So I completely understand. But for me, I'm a streamer number one, and I play S tier tournaments. Other than that, if it's an A tier, if there's content. So for me personally, if it's like 2-minute stream delay, I'm like halfway at the door. That's like it's not fun at all. Like it really just kills the mood on stream. So that's kind of like another factor that like kind of turns me off some of these tournaments. I think like, because there's no right and wrong, it's all subjective. Let everyone do what they want, and then like for me personally, I just do what I want, and everyone should just do whatever they want because at the end of the day, everyone makes the best decision for themselves. So people are enjoying Hyperrandom. I think it's looking like a good tournament as is.
You've told me you haven't been following the tournament too much, and me neither. I usually tune in to the later stages of the tournaments. But there was this situation. I don't know if you caught wind of it. It was between Andy and Capoch. Do you know what I'm about to talk about?
I heard about it. It's crazy, wild.
Okay, so this is what I understood because I tuned in late. But yeah, so Hyperrandom is really what it sounds like. So you can start with anything. And in this one game, each player started with 3 elite skirms. 3 elite skirms. And Andy, I think, was Lithuanian, so to make matters worse. And then I think Capoch made the mistake that he separated his skirms, and then Andy sniped one of them. And from that point on, the game is over. It's elite skirms in Dark Age. There's just, in Lithuanian, no less. The game is over, minute 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
Then, apparently, I didn't see this, but apparently, the mini-map of that tournament, of that map, was shaped in a way that resembled, I don't know if I'm allowed to say the name, it resembled a symbol, an emblem, which calls to, one time in history where bad things happened. I don't know. Am I allowed to say what it is?
You can just say the Nazi emblem. Like it was the Nazi logo,
okay,
right?
Right. So it resembled it, apparently. I didn't see it. And then I was watching Doubt. He didn't want to go back to check it. And so Microsoft calls a restart. I'm saying Microsoft. I think it was from Microsoft, actually, the call that they need to restart the map because, it's bad business. It's bad, bad publicity. And then Andy's totally tilted because that map is one. That map is 100% one for him. Then the next map, it's incredibly unfair for him, apparently. One of the players has a huge lake, he doesn't. And then he loses a Vil that is going to dock. The guy was just tilted out of his mind, and then everything just went wrong for him. What I'm trying to say here, though, Hera, I was talking with someone, and he told me this. I hadn't thought about it, but I think has some merit, and we should talk about it. If a map allows for this amount of randomness, where a game can be decided in game 2, or a mini-map can suddenly generate a Nazi emblem, is that worthy of $10,000 sponsorship when so much randomness can be involved?
That's a good point. Honestly, I don't know. I would say that if you're playing that tournament, it's random for everyone, so therefore it's fair. If you think about it, because you're playing like over like a bunch of different games, so in theory it balances out. I personally, I personally think Hyperrandom is not a competitive game mode in general. Like I say this mainly because Lewis comes to me, he's like, "Yo, I beat so and so player." Yeah, in Hyperrandom. Like, don't even talk to me about that. Like, we
or
have
some
to
disaster,
separate. Yeah, we have to separate from like Age of Empires to like these alternative. It's basically an alternative game mode at this point. So I don't consider it a competitive event at all. So then the question really becomes: do you give $10,000 to non-competitive events? That's in my opinion what the question is, and I would say it's fine, honestly, because I think it's a fun
I think
tournament.
I agree.
You still get the viewers, right? You still have the big names playing. It's still a show. Yeah, it doesn't tell you who's the best player, but not every tournament has to tell you who's the best player. It could just tell you who's the best player on these settings, which everyone is playing on the same level.
And it's entertainment, right? It's
Exactly.
entertainment at the end of the day.
So I think the 10,000 gets you what the 10,000 usually gets you. So I would say I'm more in favor of it. I think that's fine for me. I don't see a problem with viewers being entertained by wacky settings. And it honestly does sound pretty fun. But the Andy situation, that's very unfortunate. I don't even know what the right call there is. But I think maybe just canceling the game and giving him the win is probably fine if Microsoft really can't let you play.
I think if they cannot allow the first map to be, I think it was the first map. No, I'm not even. No, I think it was second. I don't know. If they need to restart that map with a mini map that looked weird, that looked funny, if the next generation is going to be that unfair against Andy, and you know the guy's going to be tilted out of his mind, just give him the re, man. I think if I'm an Andy, just give him the re. I mean, usually you wouldn't give a re, but it's exceptional circumstances.
Yeah.
When are they going to have a mini map that looks like whatever, I think, but it's easy to say in hindsight. It's easy to say when you don't have the responsibility, of course. I think personally, I would have given Andy the re, and that's it.
What's funny though is that I think that like doing the cancellation of the event give it way more publicity than if you just if you let the game run. I don't think anybody would notice. Like honestly,
maybe I hadn't noticed anything. I was like, what? Because people were assuming that the restart, or at least I was assuming that the restart was just because it's too unfair to have a start with 3 elite skirms and Lithuanians.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too unfair, But apparently not. When they told me what the reason was, I assumed people were fucking around and were joking. I assumed it was a meme, but no, it was not. So, but fair anyway, enough. I agree with you. I think it's an interesting point to bring up. Does so much randomness, is that really worthy of $10,000? But I agree. Tournaments can be different. And they pitch the tournament, right? Dave and Zetness, they pitch the tournament as it is. And if Microsoft takes it, they take it. And that's it, The pitch is as it is. It's going to be hyper random, and these things can happen. And if Microsoft takes it, I see no problem there, too. And I agree. I love Dave. I think he's an amazing caster, an amazing person, too. I like him a lot. I like him very, very much. So, tune in for that. Against the tournament is going to be running until October 19th. And something that I still wanted to bring up really quick here, Hera. I don't know if you've seen this. Tata was the one, or the first one that I saw, calling everyone's attention to this. But there's a note from the dev team in the handbook of the Thalassocracy 2 tournament. Mm-hmm. They don't call it Thalassocracy Cup anymore. They call it Thalassocracy 2 tournament, which is coming in late November. And it reads as follows. Have you seen this, by the way?
I've seen it, yeah.
Okay, so it reads as follows, and I quote, this tournament, Thalassocracy 2, includes a preview of upcoming changes to naval combat in Age of Empires 2. It includes new ships, new technologies, and new gameplay features. This kind of early look isn't something we do very often, and we're excited to give you this first look at the improvements coming your way next year. So again, this is something that's coming next year, and only the players playing in this tournament will have the opportunity to experience it. So what do you make of it? No naval system, no naval combat.
I was so surprised by this. I have no idea what to expect. That seems like a major rework. This is not like they're adding a unit. It looks like they're changing up everything, right?
We don't know. Okay, that's the thing. I don't know either. I don't know. Maybe you do know. I don't know. I don't know
either. Like I have no idea.
You're being 100%.
100%. Yeah.
100% sure. Okay.
Also, I don't know what kind of connections you think I have, but no one cares about me. Like in Microsoft, no one gives a shit. I give balance suggestions and half of them get ignored. That's how it is. That's my relationship with Microsoft. No one cares.
When it comes to balance suggestions, I think they need to be careful taking. Well, you probably have a different take here, but they need to be careful taking too many suggestions from pros. Because again, you're playing another game, Hera. You're not playing the same game.
No, that's for sure. No, I agree with that actually.
Yeah, you're not playing the same game I'm playing. You're not playing, and I'm probably not playing the same game 1800s not 1800s, 800s are playing. So
Yeah.
I think they need to be careful about those things. In my
No,
opinion.
for sure, 100%. It's a different topic, but like, yeah, no, I actually agree with you on that one. Like, I'm just giving away. I'm just talking. I'm just giving suggestions. They take what they take. It is what it is. But no, I think they're doing a good job there. But no, my relationship with Microsoft ends there. Basically, I don't really have anything more. Like, I don't have any connection, nothing. So
Okay, so then maybe I do have a bit more connections than you do.
please,
How funny would that be?
Yeah,
How funny would that be? How funny would that be?
and that's more of the talker,
Listen, so I had no clue this was coming. What I imagine could be viable is that they adopt the naval combat that the Chronicles currently has.
I heard about that. Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. I can let you know. You're familiar with how things work?
Never
over
played
there,
the Chronicles. No.
Okay, so here's a very quick rundown of how things are. They have two separate docks. They have like an economic dock for like fishing ships and so on, and then they have a military dock so that you can produce from both at the same time. Then they have a trash ship in Feudal Age, so one ship that doesn't cost any gold, and it's like a fire galley, if I'm not mistaken. Then they have like a ram ship in Feudal Age too. So the ram ship, I believe they counter the regular galleys. I don't even remember.
Okay.
But they're like, and then they have like a mangonel ship that does what mangonels do, but on the water in Castle Age. Very quick thoughts on this. Potential, do you welcome this or too much?
Here's my general take. Water gameplay, in my opinion, is absolutely horrific at the moment.
Yes.
Like, objectively, like, you can. I'm not saying whether you like it or not. Objectively, it's horrible. In long islands or like big islands, it's only galleys and backline, or like the fast fire play with fast rim, nothing else. And then like heavy demos in late game. But like the main unit is galley. You can't innovate there. You have some unique warships, but nothing crazy. And in the small ponds, it's just that fire ship demo fest. That's it. So you either have galley war or fire ship demo fest, both of which are horrific to play. Like, it's the worst kind of gameplay for AW2 as far as like strategic diversity goes. So my take is, I don't know what they're bringing, but it can't be worse than what we're seeing right now. That's my honest opinion.
I see it. I see what you're saying. My worry is because I think hybrid maps are fine. Or do you disagree?
No, they're fine, but the water gameplay is still boring because it's still like Fireship Demo Fest.
Right, but I'm worried that it will change too much the hybrid maps. That's my only worry. That you include, and there are a lot of things that you can't see ahead of time.
That's true. That's a very fine, very valid worry for sure.
Well, but then again, I guess that's why they're doing this tournament first, right? And see how it goes, and then take it from there.
Maybe it's a test run. Yeah, to see if they want to bring it to live servers.
100%. Okay. I mean, now that they have announced it, I'm sure they're going to bring something, but it's probably going to allow them to tweak whatever they have currently. I think I removed the part from the quote, but they do have something about this not being the final product, whatever people are going to see in the tournament. It's only a work in progress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
interesting. I mean, I'm personally interested to see what they bring. That just seems like a big rework, and I welcome it because, like I said, water gameplay at the moment could use some improvements and just some variety, really. So we'll see what they bring. I think it could be fun.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Okay, Hera, before we close things off, 2 little notes here. First note, or maybe 3 notes. First note, don't forget the next DLC for Age of Empires 2 will arrive next Tuesday. That's October 14th. It's going to be the second chapter of the Chronicles, developed by Capture Age. And speaking of Capture Age, we've been trying to set up an interview with them for easily over a year. Those guys are harder to get a hold of than Spirit of the Law. And it seems like we finally managed to get something, and maybe in a week or so, we're going to be able to record it. So you're going to give these Chronicles a crack? Because I saw you made a video about the announcement, or not your thing, the campaigns and so on.
I reacted to the announcement of the DLC. It actually drops on my birthday, which is interesting. So I might have to play this one. But I think they're really cool, actually. I'm a huge fan of the Chronicles from a concept. I think that's really cool. I think that people will like it. I just don't give it a crack because it feels like it's a little bit like far from what I do on a daily basis, which is like play a lot of competitive. But I like the casual AW2 side. Like, I actually really like it. Like, I grew up on that. So
your brother plays all the campaigns, if I remember correctly.
Yes,
right?
2 of my brothers. I didn't even know this till recently. 2 of my brothers played. They're like Microsoft's best customers. They buy every DLC and they don't play ranked. Like, casuals.
It's the vast majority. It's hard for us to see this. It's the vast majority of people.
Exactly.
How did they feel about the Three Kingdoms campaigns, if I'm allowed to ask?
I think that one. So basically, like, I think they've been busy. One of my brothers had a kid recently, so they've been busy, and so they haven't played the recent ones, but they played
Okay.
like all the other ones, like Lithuanian
Okay.
campaign, the Polish campaign, like everything before that, basically.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So the we know that it sold like crazy, but what I hear is that the quality of the campaigns is middling. That's what I've been hearing.
Okay.
I'm not a campaign player myself, but by the way, it sold like crazy in China too. So I wonder if a lot of fans are going to be there. I wonder if they use that actually for the LingYuan Cup, for marketing purposes, the Three Kingdoms DLC.
Very possible, yeah.
Yeah,
Very
because like 2 hours before the game released, it was the most sold game on Taiwan Steam. Number one, ahead of Dota, CSGO, whatever. Number one. It was like number 4 or 5 in Hong Kong, and in mainland China, like 20 or something. Wow. Crazy numbers, craziness. So it's got I mean, it's their history and so on, so I think it's understandable. Again, you can say whatever you want, whether the story is well told or not. Again, I have no knowledge to say anything about that. Quick note on the Chronicles. I agree with you. I don't play it. I buy it because I want to support. I bought it on the first day. I want to support the franchise. I want to support the studio. I don't really play it, but I usually watch YouTube videos. And the first Chronicles was amazing. A lot of fun to watch. I watched it over at Ornlu's channel. He uploaded like 1 episode a day. It was a lot of fun to watch. I recommend everybody try it if you like playing it for sure. My second note here, I just wanted to very quickly report on the metrics for the Quintessential Cookout, which was hosted by GamerLegion, as you guys will remember, and was won by none other than our very own The Viper. Hera, again, didn't have the chance to participate. So we had 29 channels streaming the event in total, an average of 7,300 viewers for the whole event, average, 90,000 hours watched, with a peak viewership of 13,000. I think for a weekend tournament and for the investment that GamerLegion had, I think the prize pool was $2,500. I think these are pretty solid numbers. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see other tournaments like this. You didn't get the chance to follow it, probably, right? I think you were traveling to Canada, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I was traveling, or not traveling that day, but I had like a out of town event. Like we were hours from town, so I was not able to make it, unfortunately. But I heard it was a good tournament, and the numbers looked good, to be fair. So
yeah, it was good fun. It was good fun. My third note, I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to bring this up or not, but during the conversation, breaking news just dropped in my Discord. Team Liquid has an AoE team page suddenly. Team Liquid. No players, but worth mentioning maybe, says my source.
I think I was too quick here. Sorry for jumping in, but I think we can skip this because I think this is only the old page from the Muslim, or now called the Mu.
Yeah.
Because he just left the team in September.
My sources are shit. That's the only thing I'm gonna say about it. I'm keeping this part.
At least I'm updating. Come on.
All right, Hera, this is it, bro. Thank you so much for taking the time. This is a lot of fun with you, bro. Awesome. And good luck to you. When you're traveling, was it the 17th? I think I heard you say.
I travel the 17th. Yeah, I like to be there a couple days earlier for the jet lag. Also, last thing I'll say about the China land, I'm really excited. Europeans will be tasting jet lag for the first time. If any of them complain, between you and I, if any one of them complain, I'm gonna eat popcorn and watch. Like, we got ACCM flying to every LAN event. He gets there, his eyes are red. He hasn't slept in 3 days. If the Europeans complain about the first time they have jet lag, I think I will die laughing. It's gonna be too much content for me. So I'm excited for that. I hope they don't, but if they do, I'm gonna be right there, just enjoying the
to make fun of them.
Exactly. But no, it's going to be nice. But I like to go a little earlier to battle the jet lag a little.
Understandable. Hera, thank you so much. All the luck in the world to you, my friend, and to everybody at home. If you enjoyed the podcast, you know what you have to do. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll be back very soon. See you, everybody.
Take care, guys.